from USA Math Ministry and Organization. There was a part of the video that I said I'm gonna call, here I can, how many page I have here. Okay, I checked on this, so I'm not gonna go there. I have no Facebook. I don't believe in Facebook. So I was going to report sex trafficking. Partially, I reported, so this is a hotline. I called them and I report sex trafficking. What was the purpose of my call? The purpose of my call is here in Google. In Google, if you put pornography, it's amazing that they put front of your face. It's just bigger than anything. Here you go. You need to come down here, push a little bit down here, and then here you have the definition of pornography, right? Showing, porny means prostitute. Graphing means writing or showing. Okay, I'm going to write about a prostitute. And here, prostitution, prostitution. So law in Canada, in USA. So when you go here, prostitution is illegal in vast majority of United States as a result of United States law rather than federal laws. It is, however, legal in some rural countries within the state of Nevada. Yeah, because they traffic from, West Coast, into the containers and the border of Mexico with the drug, and part of the big compensation, financial compensation of this country. You think how they flush the money of Federal Reserve that prints, and how Chinese and Russians and Arabs are all getting under control. Definitely with whatever they are praising and putting in a Capitol Hill, the phallic, these phallic in Vatican. In my opinion, you just go and check this Pornhub and RedTube. I love intimate relation, but you just check the titles. The titles are, it's corrupt. Father, mother, children, daughter and father, daughter and mother, son and daughter. And then I'm not going to go from homosexuality and all this LGBT corruption. And it's total illegal act. And here, it's illegal. Prostitution is illegal. The U.S. federal prostitution law, they practice I saw White's prostitution law, criminal dictionary. Prostitution law prohibits anyone from providing or offering to provide sexual conduct in exchange for money or any other form of compensation. I was falling to the lust. I wanted to have sex, but I didn't pay for it, because we have one biggest sin. Even you don't need to report to a police or anybody. God, when you do sin, you will get punished yourself. If you are going against virginity, it's a sin. It's a sinful act. God is going to punish you. Why you're waiting for the police and everybody to show up? So I didn't pay, but I commit the sin. But in Christianity, we can repent. And even if the law officers and everybody who arrests these rapists and prostitutes, it's not about killing them or putting in a prison. You need to explain to them. And based on my knowledge, oh my gosh, I need to go over a series of video regarding to demonology and psychopathy, that based on my research, psychopathy is a physical possession with demon, but demonology is just getting from a possessed body, continuation of a possessed body in a psychopathical manner that is not getting into prison, survives. That guy becomes a priest of Satanist. Like Aleister Crowley, like all these Hollywood actors, they are pastor and priest of raping and sex prostitution. And that's the one of the highest level of positioning in a Freemasonry, in a cult, in any occultist sexual act. You are summoning demon, and I already addressed that. And myself, I deal with demons. And of course, in the first place, policing is just preventing the primary result of that act. But in the long run, it's a demonic possession, and ministers must be deal with all these people, serial killer, rapist, and mostly start with getting into the radical sexual behavior. They are also punished those who offer sex for money. That's they offer sex for money. Never. I didn't. I just wanna, my sexual. I don't know. Even these days, I mean, if you wanna have sex, you don't need. I mean, that the big money goes there. So as you see, offering sex money. That's amazing. People should know. If you pay for a prostitute, you are legally going to be charged. That is solicit, or who purchase any sexual service. These laws are not confined to people who directly participate in the proscribed sexual activity. They also penalize those who arrange or benefit financially from prostitution arrangement, pandering the practice of pro, pro, procuring a person to used for prostitution, and pimping to act of receiving any part of prostitution earning are typical illegal way in which third parties promote prostitution. Amazing. I love this article. The history of all this profession. Informally duped the word oldest profession, prostitution, is American institution. Though the exchange of money or sexual acts is banned in all but one state, Nevada. Yeah, how the Nevada keeps its economy. Prostitution was once entirely legal, with far more men than women in society. Sexual commerce was what is that? Obliquitous in colonial America. The occupation thrived from the 18th century into the 19th. During the time, there was no legal definition of prostitution in most states. The practice remained legal despite a public condemnation. Brothel and their patterns were prominent along the coasts, and eventually spread to the country rural area. Local governments tried mostly unsuccessfully to regulate prostitution, determining that absolute prevention was impossible. The country turned to practice of configure prostitution to certain geographic area known as red light district. These sectors were technically where I was known as a red light district. These sectors were technically illegal in many states, but governments often tolerate them. Eventually, at the turn of the 19th century, the state began to get out of a line enact criminal law prohibiting prostitution, while Congress did the same. By 1971, every state other than Nevada had outlawed because of online, because it becomes out of control, a victimless crime. Some have argued the prostitution is a victimless crime, at least when adults are concerned, in that it involves only consenting individuals. The majority view, however, is that commercial sex harms these individuals and, more importantly, society at large. The ban against prostitution is said to be denounce the exploitation of sexual gratification. Prostitution laws are intended to protect public health and welfare, including the suppression of sexually transmitted diseases, protect minors who might otherwise become involved in a sex industry. TART, other associated forms of crime and curb the incentive to exploit women. Typical legal approach to prostitution. In some states, prostitution is considered a form of disorderly conduct. In most, the crime includes offering or arranging to or actually engaging in a sexual act in exchange of money. Status typically describe the contempt sexual activity vaguely. They use terms such as lewd act, but invariably describe intimate physical contact of some form. They require that the defendant intend to receive compensation either directly or through a third party in exchange for the contact. All pornographic platform is working like this. All the pimps, Ron Jeremy, he must be in jail. I mean, then we have another it's just abuse going on left and right. In many states, the government must prove only that the prostitution offered or agreed to engage in sexual conduct of compensation, regardless of whether she or he intend to follow through on that offer or arrangement. The only requirement is that the offer or arrangement not be in jest. In some states, though, the prostitution must prove that the defendant specifically intend to engage in the sexual act in exchange for money. In those states, a prostitution violence requires some act showing that the defendant intends to follow through on the offer or arranging the partake in sexual activity. An example such as act is touching the patterned crotch after offering intercourse. In all states where prostitution is illegal, the intention of the would-be client are irrelative. The alleged prostitute can be convicted even if that client does not actually intend to practice in any sexual conduct, where the law otherwise police sting operation to uncover and prosecute illegal sexual activity which are vital to forcing law against prostitution would be pointless. Crime related to prostitution. In addition to pimping and pandering, there are several prostitution-related crimes that involve third parties. State law regarding the sex trade typically prohibits certain categories of behavior that foster prostitution. These includes keeping or residing in a house of prostitution, leasing a house for prostitution, procuring a person to travel to purpose of prostitution. It's all sex industry does it. Sending a minor to or permitting or minor to enter a house of prostitution and taking a person against his or her will for prostitution. Mind control works always. In addition, federal law prohibits transporting a person across state line and with intent that that person is engaged in prostitution or any other criminal sexual activity. Punishing prostitution. Prostitution itself, whether the prostitution or customer involved, is typically punished as a misdemeanor. Most acts that promote prostitution, however, such as pimping and pandering, are treated as felonies. Thanks God. Prostitution law in states. Okay, I love this. I love to read more. At least I read it. And at the end of the day, how many minutes? Okay, 13 minutes. There is no good Jew or bad Jew. There is no good religion of Islam or bad religion. Whatever in a pattern of society, public, domestic, or international, hurts the value of humanity must be count. If it is low-level felony and if it is low-level misdemeanor, and because I was victim from the way that you watch porn, and the way that it affects your life is like horrific. It destroys your life. And for how long this drug of porn should be count illegal? Why marijuana is illegal? And I'm gonna stop here because right now the title of this video prove that porn industry, pornographic is it's illegal. Must be illegal Because when you search pornography, it's showing the prostitution. It's like, they bring a Muslim in a country and they know the Muslims are terrorists, right? And they're saying they're good Muslims. There is no good Muslim. There is no good or bad Muslim. Muslims are terrorists, liars, and, with respect to them, it's not about like blackmailing. I'm talking fact from my Armenian point, and here I am proving pornography is showing prostitution. So when you see, and when I am even committing, when I am watching prostitution, I'm watching it and not reporting, you are part of it. So please come out of it, my people. Come out of it. There is no good. There is no legal or illegal porn. Porn is illegal. Prostitution is illegal because it hurts, it destroys, such as corrupt religions that it hurts and destroys, like LGBT platform, like Jewish platform, like Hindu platform, like Buddhist. All they come here, they see the beauty of Christianity, and they corrupt it because financiers behind it are Jews. And I already explained what they do in a previous video that I titled, if I think it's already uploaded. Here is the video. If it still is uploading, so I think I need to go to the here, because I already explained this, in a part of the video. Here it is: Jews and Goyams, Illuminati and Planned Parenthood, sex and money blackmailing with coronavirus project. So when it comes to specifically sex industry, porn industry is the mother of the prostitution. And that's why you don't see any porn people outside in the street, or any visual way you can see people are getting trafficked, because it's legalized like marijuana. And please come out of it. And everybody can just go to the YouTube, and they are showing in front of your face that we are prostituting your people, we are taking your bank, we are corrupting the church, we are corrupting the America, and we need to speak out. And if not, you are part of it, and you will be destroyed by this plat. Why policing happens? Because we don't want you to get involved. We don't want you to get destroyed. And I'm putting as a individual who speaks out this video out, because I am out. Like, like Richie from Boston. I am out. He's, shell, man. He and Nicholas, 1968, crap. He said Bible is crap. And Nicholas in 1968, he does his research. Leonard Orich does his research. But at the end of the day, they are not mentioning those people who already, because I listen to people, I respect everybody. But if you're not reaching to me after all these years, you are reaching to the other people you should reach, because, as an Armenian, we already experienced death. So I'm not afraid of anything, and I already got targeted. I went through horrific way of abuse, Even as an Armenian, if you're a really Christian, it's impossible you're not going to be abused, And whenever I see confidence in the people who are YouTuber and in a platform, I'm wondering why they are just like not talking against Jews and not speaking out, and they're not bringing a single Armenian culture that we were the first Christian. And I'm here, please listen, I'm not about becoming famous. I'm here to bring Armenian message, the most ancient, one of the ancient culture in history, and one of the individuals who appreciate to be an American, like other cultures who against the papacy. We are here to spread the message of Christ, and that's the purpose. And we are gonna do it, and we're gonna wait for the Jesus to come and saved from all this corruption. USA Math Ministry and Organization signing.